So item 1, call to order. Item 1.1, I'm going to move this fast. We have a lot to get through this evening, and we have to hear from a lot of people. So item 1.1, I'm not going to do introduction other than welcome everybody. And this is the Town Council meeting for October the 19th, 2021. And let's keep it rolling. Item 1.2, roll call, Dorothy Wong.
Thank you, Chairman. Just give me one moment. Let's get this going. So roll call, Councilmember Victoria Knapp.
Present.
Councilmember Amy Lyford.
Present.
Councilmember Billy Malone.
Present.
Councilmember Nick Arnzen.
Present.
Councilmember Dorothy Wong is here. Councilmember Hannah Petrie.
Present.
Councilmember Dr. Sandra Thomas.
Present.
Thank you. Councilmember Chris O'Malley.
Present.
Councilmember Veronica Jones.
Present.
Councilmember Daryl Aranda.
He's excused absence.
Thank you. Councilmember Madeline Barber.
Here.
Councilmember Alan Peck.
Present.
Councilmember Reginald Wilkins.
Present.
Councilmember Doug Cauliflower.
Here.
Councilmember Sylvia Vega.
Present.
Thank you. Councilmember Diane Marcussen.
Here.
Thank you. So that's 15 out of 16. Sounds like we have a quorum.
Okay. Moving on, item 1.3, approval of the October the 19th, 2021 meeting agenda. Councilmember Jones.
Good evening, council members. You received the October 19th, 2021 meeting agenda. Are there any additions, changes, or corrections?
No.
No, okay. I think there is one.
Yes,
Go ahead.
there is one correction. Nikki Winslow, if that's what you were going to say, is going to be
Yes.
speaking for the library.
Okay. Okay, so with that change, I make a motion that we approve the October 19th, 2021 agenda with the change of Nikki Winslow doing the presentation for the Altadena Library.
Second.
We have a second. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? So moved, unanimous. And we have a call. Okay, moving on. Item 2, officers report. We're going to start with myself. Again, I'm going to make this brief as we got to hear from a lot of people this evening. Only one thing I wanted to note is at the end of the last meeting, we did talk about certain construction being outside of the CSDs. So the council chose to make a note of that to the Board of Supervisors, and so far it's been negotiated that we've at least lost one story off of that building. And they've agreed to that so far. So that's a good thing. That's what we do. So I just want to share that with you. Now moving on, item 2.2, Chairman's report, Councilmember Jones.
I just want to piggyback on what Billy said, and I want to thank everybody who wrote a letter, sent an email, who reached out to the supervisor and asked her to follow our CSD. So just thank you. It was a collaboration of a lot of organizations and a lot of people, including a petition. So thank you. That's all.
So it shows you we can make a difference if we all come together and we try.
We do
Okay.
have the power to do something.
Yeah. So even in this case, it was issued by the state. The fact that the community voiced it, they listened to the community, so that's a good thing. Okay, moving on. Item 2.3, recording secretary. Councilmember Marcussen.
Yes, I apologize. I've been out of town and was not able to do the minutes for tonight. They're partially done, but I didn't finish them. And I do want to just remind everybody that you can see the entire meeting online, fast forward through the parts you don't want to listen to on YouTube. If you just put in Altadena Town Council And the date, September 21st, would be our September meeting.
Okay. All right, moving on. Item 2.4, Treasurer's Report. The Councilmember Marcussen.
Yes, yes. Our balance as of September 28th is $1,760 even. And the only transaction we had again was our website charge.
Okay. All right, moving on. Hopefully sometime soon we'll be back live in a meeting room, and that can go around the room and we can start increasing that deposits again. Okay, moving on. Item 2.5, corresponding secretary, Councilmember Wong.
Thank you, Chairman. So I'm just going to give you guys an update, and I'm sure we're going to hear great updates like we do every month from our different organizations. So if you want to find out more information on the town council website, there is a link, ATC election. There's a tab on the town council website. So you'll be able to look at that, and Chris will tell you more when we get to that. And some highlights through the end of October. Don't forget to enjoy the Altadena Farmers Market. Your market needs you. We also have a haunted maze. I think there are a couple other haunted house events going on. So I will be adding that to the website. That'll be 10 days. Let's see, that starts October 20th, tomorrow, and we'll be going through Halloween. And that'll be taking place at the Masonic on Fair Oaks. And then on the 21st, you'll be hearing about the Chamber Breakfast coming up. And on October 23rd is going to be the Altadena Arts Festival. I have the flyer posted there, but there's a nice little write-up talking about the event happening at Charles White Park from 10 to 5. And then in November, I will talk about that during another item on the agenda. So if you'd like to add anything to our website, you can send me an email, dorothy.wong@altadenatowncouncil.org. As well, the library, altadenanews.org, is keeping track of community events at this point. That concludes all I know. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Councilmember Wong. Moving on. Item 3, public safety reports. Item 3.1, California Highway Patrol. And I believe this month is Officer Boyd. I do see Officer Keller here, so take it away. I'm not sure who's going to be speaking.
That'll be myself, Officer Boyd. Thank you all. Just to report, we've had a total of 15 traffic collisions within our unincorporated area. 5 of those have been with injury involving 6 parties. Fortunately, none of those parties faced any life-threatening injuries. Out of those 15 traffic collisions, there were 4 hit and run involved collisions. One of those hit and runs was a felony. Someone was injured out of that, and that was on Woodbury and El Molino. And unfortunately, there wasn't any information gathered on the vehicle that fled the scene. So follow-up is very limited at this time. We also, Officer Keller and I just wanted to kind of stress that with the upcoming events regarding holidays, what we've noticed is a lot of contributors to these traffic collisions have to do with speed or, especially around the school zones, parents just kind of in a rush, whether it's running late to drop off students, dropping more than one student off at different schools, just not really paying attention to the signs such as no U-turns. And so we just, want to have the committee just, stress to your constituents to watch the speed, especially with some of the events coming up. I know a big one is the Christmas tree lane. So there's going to be a lot of traffic, Halloween, a lot of traffic with that. So if you guys can help us help the community stay safe with just passing on the message to slow down, allot some time to get where you need to go, and try to reduce the speed. We would appreciate it. And also, we will have updated events and messages on our Instagram. So please follow if you feel so inclined.
Thank you. I do know that last month, Councilmember Knapp was mentioning about issues with around the schools at drop off and pick up. And we did hear from a couple of people this month again that there was some big issues with school drop-offs and traffic congestion and not being very well organized around Altadena Drive and Lincoln between the schools in that region. I just wanted to know if you're how that's going and if there's continued surveillance of those areas in the schools during those times.
Yeah, so one particular school that has some issues with parking during drop off is the Jackson Elementary School, which is on Woodbury there, close to our office. We did have a chance to meet with the principal and some of the parent board, the PTA, and offered some suggestions as to how they could sort of mitigate traffic flow, and again offered some suggestions. A lot of what Officer Keller and I have found is we provide suggestions, or schools will delineate where drop-off zones are, and parents should just, whether again it's because they're rushing or not paying attention. Sometimes they don't seem to follow where a school is designating where to drop off. We've seen a lot of parents double parking. We've seen a lot of parents, they will drop their kids off at one location, walk across the street. So a lot of what we're trying to do is get the parents on board and working with the school and with us on the suggestions that we're providing, and even what the school has set forth as far as guidelines with that. So I know Officer Keller and I have taken those traffic concerns and focused our efforts in some of the schools where there's been a lot of expressed concerns, such as the Altadena Elementary. I believe we've had for the month of September at least over 20 citations, and those varied from illegal U-turns, not stopping completely at the stop sign. We've been given a lot of verbal warnings for parents crossing the street, not using the crosswalk. And so, we're doing our best to address those issues. But a big part of what we're trying to get is parents coming on board with us and pretty much following the rules. That'll help with some of these concerns.
I think you're muted.
Yeah,
Councilmember Wong, sorry. I was asking if there's any question from council. Councilmember Wong, go ahead.
Yes, thank you for that information. It was actually Walk to School Day the other week. So hopefully we can keep building momentum on safety around the schools. My quick question is Woodbury and El Molino, where the hit and run injury collision occurred. There was some confusion on what side of the street is responsible for whom. So is there a division between Pasadena and Altadena on Woodbury at El Molino in terms of who takes care of the traffic collision?
On that, have you guys ever used ZNet? It's the Los Angeles County Assessor mapping area. That's what we use to determine the unincorporated areas of different cities. We use it almost daily to make sure we're taking crashes that are actually ours and not being used by other departments to take their crashes. It's all online. I'm looking it up right now just to make sure I have the name right. But it's provided by ZNet, and it provides the breakdown of where the CHP will handle and where the cities will handle, and it's pretty well marked.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Woodbury, I think we handle Woodbury going all the way east, just right before Lake. So I believe Woodbury and El Molino would be our handle.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions from the council? And again, there's 2 screens, so if I don't see your hand, it's on your other screen. So please voice up if I do miss you. Councilmember Knapp.
I did just want to express thank you. You guys were on scene at Altadena Arts Magnet the very next day, I think after our last town council meeting. It definitely has made a difference. Just the presence, it's both you and our local sheriff's deputies. We have been working with the parents to improve their desire for safety around our school. But I have to tell you, it is difficult when I guess they're rushing in the mornings to get them to comply. So like you said, the double parking is a huge issue. The U-turns in the middle of Calaveras are a big issue. And the stopping in the crosswalk when there are people coming across the street. So we are working on it, and I thank you for your diligence. We're also working with the county to try to get a crossing guard at the intersection of El Molino and Calaveras, and it has really been a challenge because of the warrants that are required to meet the stipulation to get another traffic guard there or crossing guard there. So it is ongoing conversations with Susie Niemer and with the PUSD board, the school board. So we really are trying. I would actually like to relocate the crossing guard that we have at Catherine to that intersection, but that seems to take a bigger act of Congress than getting another crossing guard. So we are definitely working on it, and I certainly appreciate all of your efforts. I am thrilled every time I see you guys there.
Well, that's one person.
We're working diligently. We were just talking about this today. We have a whole bunch of schools that we cover in the Altadena, La Crescenta, and down Rosemead area. So we're going to start kind of forming up a schedule of trying to make our presence known at each location. And I want to thank all of you guys. If you guys have given out our information, our emails, we've gotten numerous tips on where people are, breaking rules, speeding, not paying attention, or being careless. We need all the help we can get because it's just the 2 of us and all for our station. So if you guys spread the word, get people to send us the emails, we can focus more on those specific areas and do what we need to do to make everyone safe.
It's Victoria again, Billy. Just quickly, I think what I will do is have the PTA at Altadena Elementary School reach out. Their meetings are still virtual, and perhaps we can have one of you join the meeting to really hammer home what is sort of responsible driving patterns in front of the school during pickup and drop off, especially. That might be really helpful.
Of course, that'd be great.
Yeah. And I know the issue that I brought up that was brought to our attention was Altadena Drive in Lincoln, and what most people aren't aware of, which is extremely strange, the way it's designed, but everything on the north side of Altadena Drive that's west of Lincoln is actually Pasadena jurisdiction, not Altadena. That is also Pasadena neighborhoods, even though it's surrounded by Altadena. So I don't know where that would fall, whether that is partially because the school itself is in Pasadena, whether that jurisdiction would be Pasadena police, or whether that would be sheriffs or yourself. I'm not sure. So that's something that maybe we can talk about offline to see.
I'm sorry, Jackson is an Altadena school. I mean, it's in Altadena.
I'm talking about Odyssey, Altadena Drive in Lincoln. Odyssey is actually in Pasadena.
Wow.
It's really strange. It's a part. JPL is in Pasadena, and that neighborhood up there is joined to JPL, and it's actually considered Pasadena. If you look at the map of Altadena, just Google it, you'll see there's a little cutout in that area that covers around the school of where Odyssey is. So anyway, That's a little bit of geography, so we'll deal with that later. But I just want to know if that, because of that, whether that would actually include, jurisdiction of Pasadena as well. Anyway, if there's no more questions, because we have a lot, I'd like to move on. And again, if I can't see everybody because there's 2 pages, please shout out that I didn't see you. Moving on, item 3.2, the Altadena Sheriff Station and Captain Williams. Welcome, Captain Williams.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, welcome to Altadena.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Glad to be here. Looking forward to many more town council meetings. Just real fast, crime in general in the areas, it's going down compared to how it was around this month last year. I like that trend, so we want it to continue. We're going to see what we can do to continue that. Moving forward, until the beginning of next year, if you guys don't mind, I may show comparisons from not just from 2020, but from 2019. Kind of gives a fair comparison as far as crime, because 2020 crime in general went down everywhere because of the pandemic and COVID and all that stuff. People weren't as active, they weren't outside. So if you guys don't mind, every once in a while you hear me compare crime stats to 2019. On that note, property crimes, it's slightly increased from 2020. It's slightly increasing. It's still way down from 2019 though. A lot of that is vehicle-related thefts, mainly catalytic converter thefts, people breaking in the car, stealing purses and stuff like that. So I want to take this opportunity just to remind people to spread the word. Please take your valuables out of your car. If you run to the store or whatever, I know it takes 20, 30 minutes just to go inside and handle your business. But at the same time, it only takes 1 minute for someone to break inside that car and take something. So just remember that. Just to fight or combat that issue, starting today, we had the community-oriented policing team. That's a county-wide team. And today we had them here in Altadena, and they'll be here another day this week. And it's just to do a little bit of suppression for vehicle thefts, mainly catalytic converter thefts. And you'll see extra patrols in the area. It's nothing to be alarmed. We did ask them to come out here and just extra resources in the area just to help us out a little bit. We have a few more plans in place, and we're looking forward to implementing those plans. Other than that, that's it. I'm glad to be here. It's going a smooth transition so far. I want to thank Captain Jacobs. She's been very gracious. She made it very clear that she's still here to support the station and city, and I truly appreciate that. Also, the operations lieutenant, Lieutenant Mark Skaggs, he's helping out with the transition. He's been very helpful so far, and I expect he will continue to be helpful. So I want to thank him personally also. Other than that, I'm just happy to be here. I'm looking forward to the challenge, and I'm here for you guys.
Can you just let us all know just briefly where you're coming from and how excited you are to be here in Altadena?
Absolutely. So I've been on about a little over 21 years. I've worked a variety of different assignments. Most of my patrol time has been down in the south part of LA County. I did my patrol time at Compton Station, worked a variety of assignments there. I was a detective and worked, of course, custody facilities as a sergeant and came back to Compton as a sergeant and worked my way up and ended up at Carson Station. And that's my last assignment. And I was there as the watch commander, service area lieutenant, and the operations lieutenant before coming here to Altadena. So just a brief work history. I grew up in Los Angeles, close to Gardena. Had the opportunity to go away for school in Louisiana. Spent 6 years there and came back here, and the sheriff's department picked me up. So that's about it for my brief history of my background. I'm very excited to be here in Altadena. So far, it's been a very warm welcome. I've gone around to different events. Everybody's so nice. I like this small town feel. It's great, and people are very supportive. Even today, I met with the captain of CHP in Altadena, Captain Moulton. Very supportive, very nice guy. I'm looking forward to working with CHP. And I still have meetings planned for Pasadena PD. So working together, we can have that collaboration, that partnership. So law enforcement and the community, we're all working together for that big goal, and that's to make things better. in the city. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Any questions from the council? Okay, no questions from the council. I want to move on. Welcome aboard and welcome to Altadena. I know that I do believe you have a connection with our town and that you had family in the area.
Yes, my father.
In the past area.
Yeah.
Which is
I
a
did.
good
My
thing.
father, he lived on Montana, right off of Fair Oaks, and I would spend a lot of time there. So
Good.
right on the border. Yeah.
So you're one of us as well. So and you've got a lot. I know you have the last Captain Jacobs has been incredible for our town. So you have large boots to fill, and I'm fully aware that you're going to fill them. So, and I want to give out a huge big thank you to the interim captain, the Skaggs, who also took care of everything in the interim. So a huge big thank you to him as well. So thank you and welcome aboard. I'd like to move on but stay with the Altadena Sheriff Station to item 3.12. And we want to not just say thank you to past Captain Jacobs, but we want to recognize Captain Jacobs, say a huge big thank you to Captain Jacobs. It's been a tough time the last few years. She has stepped up to the plate with COVID. She was there from the beginning, doing senior door knocking, making sure everybody was safe, having the senior events at the local grocery stores, keeping everything in line. Every time anything has happened in town, everything from the recent shootings to you name it, to the illegal pot shops, she has been on top of everything. She's been a trooper. She's been one of us. She's been reachable at any moment. Plus she reaches back at every moment. She's on the top of everything. Altadena owes her a huge, big thank you. I know she's retiring. I know we've personally had some conversations about passion projects that we thought was important. So maybe now if you have more time, we can actually speak about making some of those passion projects come alive. And I just want to say in recognition of your service to our town, what a big thank you we have. And I'm going to pass you over to Councilmember Jones.
Hi, Captain. We miss you. We miss you. The town council, you have a certificate that you're going to get. And as soon as Billy Malone signs it, but it says, we, the members of the Altadena Town Council, wish to recognize you for your commitment to be of service to our community. We also recognize you for the civic pride you demonstrated through your dedication to be a vital resource for our community. Thank you for your service and your leadership. As captain of the Altadena station, the Altadena community will miss you. Recognized on this day, October 19th, 2021.
Wow. Thank you so much, everybody.
You'll get this mailed to you. You'll get this, so we'll get it mailed to you, so you have it, so you won't forget us, because we won't forget you. And can you show, is it convenient for you to show what the town council sent you?
Well, it's been dismantled, but I have a picture of it.
Oh, okay.
But I gotta say thank you so much. It was an amazing one of those edible baskets that had all kinds of chocolate strawberries and things that that my family devoured. There's some left, but anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for the beautiful gifts, and Billy, your kind words really mean a lot. This is an amazing town, Captain Williams, that you are you're getting in your command, and the station is amazing as well. So please take care of all of them. I know you will. And he's got my personal line, so he can call me for any reason, as well as many of you here on the screen. We've made some incredible relationships and friendships throughout the past 2.5 years. And Billy, you did not say that we were all there together before our station almost closed. You forgot that.
Yeah.
You forgot that. That was huge. That was some tears. That was some tears spent throughout that town. So we have so much to be proud of. these past couple of years. And I have to say it's been my best assignment. By hands down, I was there as a sergeant. I came back as a captain, and I couldn't think of a better way to go out. I don't have a retirement date yet, but you'll be sure to know. My recovery is going well, and just slow, but it's going well. And it was hopefully a successful surgery. We'll find out in the next 6 months or so. But so far, so good. But anyway, I didn't get to meet about 6 or 7 of you guys as you just came in through the last elections. But I wish you all very, very much success in your census tracts. And you know, the Sheriff's Department is always here for you guys whenever you need us. So reach out and stay close. It takes a village. And that's really what the message I gave to Captain Williams is that it's got to be all encompassing, and it's a big, huge hug. That's what I always said. I can embrace this community, and that's one of the special things about it. And our station is small, but it's mighty. I used to say that about our town as well. So that's why we didn't close, and that's why we're still here. And I gave you some fresh paint and some fresh carpet and all that good stuff at the station. So you're looking good with that facelift over there, Captain Williams. But anyway, Mark Skaggs, I want to thank you also. I think you're on here. I just didn't see your face, but thanks for stepping in when I wasn't there. You did an amazing job, and you have a lot to be proud of. So continue forging forward with your goals and keeping Captain Williams there made abreast of all the information that he needs to be successful. So I wish you all the best of luck. I love you guys. I'm going to miss you. And if you need anything, reach out to me. Please do. Thanks for having me on here and for the certificate. I appreciate it.
Dory.
I want to just tell you one more thing from me. Just personally, thank you for walking the streets with me and knocking on those business doors on that hot day. It was so hot. And we were out there marching up and down the street to all the businesses. And thank you for showing up to our little Christmas party that we had. It meant a lot to our census tract and to the people that participate. It means a lot. So thank you. It was a personal touch that you didn't have to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay.
Something I'd like to say quickly in that same respect is one of the best sayings I know is the best gift that you can ever give anybody is the gift of time. And Captain Jacobs has gone above and beyond what was her call of duty, but gave our town the gift of time. You were always there. You became part of our town. You will always be part of our town, and the town will now always be part of you. So thanks, you Billy, for that gift. And you will be dearly missed in this capacity.
Thank you. You can make me cry.
I think we're all getting a little emotional. So
I know.
Thank you. Thank you, Captain Jacob.
All right. Mama Thomas.
Yes.
We'll see you guys.
All right. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, that wasn't as easy saying goodbye to someone we respect so much.
No, someone we love.
Okay, I'm going to move on. Item 3.3. We still do have a lot to get through. LA County Fire. Maria Grycan, if she's here, I believe I did see her.
I am here, yes.
Okay. I have 2 pages of
yeah
today, so it's hard to see.
I have a report to give you and then an announcement afterwards. First, I just wanted to say, Captain Jacobs, it was wonderful to see you here tonight. You're looking great. And I'm going to miss working with you. And Captain Williams, I look forward to meeting you and working with you. So I know I don't have my face up. My camera is not working well. But we'll meet soon, and I look forward to working with you. And then one other thing before I give my report, because this is a promise I made to a recently retired council member in the city of La Cañada, Flint Ridge. It was a big bone of contention for the city. So I just wanted to let you know, Billy, JPL is in La Cañada Flint Ridge. It's not in Pasadena. So yeah, it turns into a running joke with them because even on the news, it always says JPL Pasadena. And he ended up sending a press release out to all the major networks saying it's not in Pasadena, it's in La Cañada Flint Ridge. So I promised him that I would do my part to help spread the word about that. So for the month of September in Altadena, we have a total of 300 responses. 216 of those were for medical calls, and of those, we transported 178 patients. We did have 3 fires. We had a cooking fire and a structure fire that was confined to the garage, and the cause of that fire was spontaneous combustion of oily rags. So you have to be very careful with those when you're doing woodworking or staining or anything like that to make sure that those are properly disposed of. And then the other fire was an outdoor kitchen area with a built-in barbecue, and it was surrounded by a wooden structure. And they believe that it was probably caused by heat that transferred from the barbecue to the wooden structure. So it was confined to that area, but it did cause their little outdoor kitchen to have about $10,000 worth of damage. We had a few power lines down or wires down. And then I've got your traffic collisions listed here, including one that involved a person trapped. So that is the extent of the report for September. I will take any questions if there's any questions, but I also wanted to make an announcement and introduce someone who might be even better at answering questions than I am. And the announcement that I have is that Assistant Fire Chief Anderson Mackey, who most of you are familiar with, you've seen him when we had in-person meetings, and he's been on a few of these virtual meetings. He has been assigned to downtown to our training and EMS bureau, and he has been asked to be the acting deputy chief. So it's kind of a temporary promotion for him. This was all a snowball effect because our fire chief, Daryl Osby, has gone out on medical leave. We expect that to be for about 3 months or so. So in the interim, for those 3 months or so, we have an acting assistant fire chief, Nick Bercuda, and he is here tonight. I wanted to introduce him to you and all of you to him, and I will let him tell you a little bit about yourself, and if there's any questions about the September report between him and me, we can answer them. So Chief Bercuda, go ahead.
All right. Hello, Town Council members. It's nice to be with you. My name's Nick Bercuda. I've been with the department for 23 years. I actually grew up in La Cañada Flint Ridge. Left to go down to college at UC Irvine, and that's where I actually reside today. Captain Williams, I look forward to meeting you. And my father is a retired lieutenant with the Sheriff's Department and spent many years at the Altadena station as a kid, visiting the station. And I have very fond memories. So I look forward to meeting you at your station and reliving some of those memories.
I look forward to it too. My dad is retired LA City fireman. Captain.
Oh, fantastic. Okay,
And
we've got
so-
a lot to talk about then.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Look forward to meeting you in person. Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
So I've spent the last 3 years in the Santa Clarita Valley, and I was honored to accept the acting assistant chief's position and be here with you this evening.
Thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask the council if there's any questions from the council.
I'd like to know how you
Councillor-
spell, I'd like to know how you spell your last name.
Oh, that's a great question. So
Coming from someone whose last name is long and confusing. My own.
Yep. So Berkuta is spelled B as a boy, ERKUTA.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, thanks ever so much. And we'll look forward to meeting you next month.
Likewise.
And hearing from you next month. And I am going to move on to item 3.4 for the JPL groundwater cleanup with Stephen Slaten. Is that correct? Is he here? Okay, I don't think I'm on mute and I don't hear him.
I don't see him.
I don't see him. That's okay. If he shows up late, we do need to move on though. He can just message us. If anyone sees him come online, just have him message one of us, either me or Councilmember Jones, the Vice Chair. In the meantime, I'm going to move on to item 4, special presentations. And it was just pointed out, I just want to make note of that because we did vote the agenda as is. However, there is a number issue on the agenda. So if you notice item 4, the numbers go 5s, and item 5, the numbers are 4s. So this, ignore the first number. This is item actually 4.1, not 5.1. So under special presentations, this is item 4.1. We will make that change to the agenda when posting the minutes. This is, we're looking for Carrie Chateen, is that how you pronounce it?
It's Chateen, and I apologize
Chateen.
in advance. I'm a historian. I don't know technology. I can't log out of my personal Zoom account. So I'm logged in as Carrie Alfara, my private citizen alias.
That's okay, as long as you're okay with that.
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
You can always change
I
the
am one
name.
and the same, just so you're aware.
And you can also, even if you're on your personal one, you can also change your name under edits.
Technology. I'm a historian.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to hand it over to you right now. I was going to introduce you. I'll let you introduce yourself and then what you're here to talk about.
Thank you so much. My name is Carrie Chateen. I'm the Cultural Resources Manager and Senior Architectural Historian for Sapphos Environmental. Sapphos is a full-service environmental planning firm providing water, biological, and archaeological resources and other services and general planning documents for projects primarily located in Los Angeles County. Sapphos has a historic preservation on-call contract with County of Los Angeles Department of Regional Planning. The contract is fully funded for 5 years, and DRP aims to conserve funds for what they call end of fiscal year projects that are meaningful to the community. The Altadena African American Historic Resources Survey was the 2020 end of year project and included preparation of a historic context statement and survey of neighborhoods, places, businesses, and sites that the Altadena African American community identified as significant. The Altadena project had a compressed schedule of 3.5 weeks during a pandemic that was imposed by funding deadlines. In order to accomplish this task and prepare a high-quality survey report, Sapphos hired Dr. Sabrina Howard to assist with the project. Dr. Howard's dissertation focused on racial politics and public transportation in Los Angeles County. In concert with the Altadena Historical Society, Sapphos conducted public outreach meetings to invite the public to talk about events, persons, and places significant to the community. Sapphos conducted oral histories to record persons, events, and sites that were significant to the history of Altadena. Altadena has long been known as a place of refuge to minority communities. We not only found exclusionary redlining maps, but also a campaign to integrate West Altadena by allowing homeowners to fill out mailing cards supporting the effort. 2 neighborhoods, the Meadows and the Cinch, were formally surveyed and documented as historic districts eligible for county registration. The results of the historic context statement and survey efforts were presented to community groups and also county staff and the Landmarks Commission. A subcommittee was formed amongst members of the Altadena community to review the draft report and survey findings to ensure they accurately reflected the history of the community in the final report. The report is available on the county website and includes recommendations for future studies. A hard copy of the report and all research materials were also donated to the Historical Society and the local library for future research efforts. The public involvement and volunteers that assisted with this project were critical in the success of the completion of the project. The project has been recognized for its significance by both the Association of Environmental Professionals and the Los Angeles Conservancy. The AEP organization honored the project with an award for advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion. Veronica, could you please show the dedication ceremony for the Historical Society for that award?
Okay, here, I'm going to try and share my screen. And here's the.
We can see it.
Good evening. My name is Carrie, Chateen. I am the Cultural Resources Manager and Senior Architectural Historian for Sapphos Environmental. Sapphos is a full-service environmental planning firm located in Pasadena. Sapphos was fortunate enough to partner with the County of Los Angeles Department of Regional Planning for the purposes of developing a historic context statement and survey of significant buildings and resources focused on the Altadena African American community. The results of the context and the survey were presented in a formal written paper that is available on the county website. And we also presented the results to the Historical Society and the County Landmarks Commission. We donated all the research materials to the Historical Society, so they're available for future research efforts. And we also submitted the project to the California branch of the Association of Environmental Professionals for an Advancing Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Award. This is a prestigious award from a national organization that promotes ethics and high quality standards in planning. And I am pleased to present this award to the president of the Historical Society.
I am Eric Molfinger, and I'm the president of Altadena Historical Society. I'm here today with fellow board member Gene Phillips. And we were very happy to be a participant in this study, that we were able to provide information as a resource for the community, which is one of our aims. The report that Sapphos has produced is an excellent one that surveys the entire history of the African American community in Altadena. It summarizes it all in one document. That has never existed before, so we are grateful to have that. And it is available through the Historical Society now and on the county website. So we're grateful to have been a part of this, and thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Veronica. So the second award is being honored by the Los Angeles Conservancy, which is a nonprofit, a nonprofit membership organization whose mission is to recognize, preserve, and revitalize historic architectural and cultural resources within Los Angeles County. This is the largest membership historic preservation organization within the United States. So on October 27th at the Coliseum, the Altadena African American Historic Resource Survey will be presented with a Los Angeles County Preservation Award in recognition of the importance of recording this community's significant history. A framed copy of the award certificate will also be presented to the Altadena Historical Society in gratitude for its contributions to this groundbreaking project. It's been a true honor and to be part of this project, and I mentioned at the very beginning, I live right behind Hen's Teeth Plaza, so I'm actually part of this community as well. So it's a real honor to be part of this project and part of this community, and to record the history that is so important, and it's so important to move it forward and make it recognized.
Thank you, Carrie. And I want to say it took Sapphos, members of the community, including Dr. Thomas, and anybody who had any history or knew anything about Blacks in Altadena.
Yeah, we conducted at least 11 oral histories. This was a monumental project. And the fact that we actually completed it in 3.5 weeks was outstanding.
And how many pages is the document?
it's a ream of paper. I don't know actually how many. Well, there were, because we surveyed the Meadows and the Sench, and both neighborhoods each had about 300 properties. So each district, potential district, was documented on individual forms. And then there was the report with the historic context statement that identified eligibility standards by various criteria and themes and sub-themes. And we tried to be as thorough as possible to develop a really useful planning tool for future efforts in Altadena.
So thank you. So Altadena is on the map for African American history.
And Altadena beat City of Los Angeles.
Yes, it's a big deal. It's a real big deal, but thank you. Okay, Billy, I know we need
You're
to
welcome.
move on. Thank you, Carrie.
You're welcome. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. And any comments or questions before we move on? Okay, moving on. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate your time and your commitment and everything you've been doing. And thank you for coming this evening.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
And we want to thank
too.
the LA County Board of Supervisors who put forth the effort to make it happen, who reached
Yes.
out to Sapphos. So we need to thank them. But thank you. All right, that's it.
Good night.
Thank you for pointing that out, Councilmember Jones. Moving on, item 4.2, which is under special presentations, the ABC Alcohol and Beverage Control, Ricardo Carnet.
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. I hope everyone is safe and healthy tonight. Thank you tremendously from my heart for the opportunity to speak tonight at your town council. Amazing town council, by the way, I'd like to mention. Getting to know Veronica Jones over the past 8 months, I've heard nothing but great things about all the work that you folks are doing in Altadena. So my hat's off to you guys. You guys are doing an amazing job. My name is Ricardo Carnet. I'm a supervising agent in charge for the Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control. My position is of a state agent, and the equivalence of my position in a police department or sheriff's department is of a captain. Our Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control, is responsible for the licensing and the enforcement of liquor licenses throughout the state. I'm assigned to the Monrovia District Office. And as mentioned, I'm a supervising agent in charge. We call that SAC for short, SAC. I've been with the department over 20 years. I've been in law enforcement for over 26 years. I'm a proud veteran of the United States Air Force. And prior to being in the Air Force, or prior to being with this department, I was a federal agent as well. As mentioned, I'm in the Monrovia District Office. Before that, I was in a special operations unit for our department as a sergeant. I was there for about 4 years, and prior to that, I was a corporal in the Van Nuys District Office for the prior 12 years before that. As mentioned, I'm recently assigned to the Monrovia District Office. I was assigned there and promoted there in February of this year. My jurisdiction is very large, and as in most ABC offices, we have a large jurisdiction. And it's from the west, it's all the way to Pasadena and Altadena area. And it shoots all the way east to Pomona, all of the San Gabriel Valley, and south of the San Gabriel Valley, 2 portions and areas of southeast Los Angeles. So as you can imagine, it's a very large area. I have myself, my sergeant that works with me, and 2 agents at this point. That's all we have right now. So we're a little taxed on that end, but as you can imagine, nevertheless, 26 years in law enforcement, I've seen a lot. My passion, and that's why I'm very fortunate to be with your organization and to have met Veronica Jones, is to help communities in whatever position or job I've been in my last 26 years in law enforcement. So when, again, Veronica and I met February this year, I knew that we were going to collaborate and work together. And I was excited for that opportunity, really was. Which brings me to my first project when I was assigned to the Monrovia District Office as the new SAC, and my chiefs and and everyone else tasked me with the All-Star Liquor project. As you know, that liquor store is located on Lincoln, 2421 Lincoln Avenue. And I did make that my number one priority. Believe it or not, again, I have Pomona and San Gabriel Valley and all the other cities, but that attention was brought to me very early on that we need to do something about All-Star Liquor. And I'm sorry if my computer or my screen camera is working very weird. I got very shoddy Wi-Fi right here. And as a matter of fact, we're getting new computers tomorrow. So sorry if my video is not looking good. But nevertheless, again, my attention was drawn to All-Star Liquor. And that has been a point of attention, to be honest with you, for several years now, going back to several SACs that were in the Monrovia District Office as well. So I felt, even though it's been a point of attention for them, nothing really has been resolved, and I needed to know why. And again, with collaboration with Veronica, I just started to inquire, and I took an approach that I've taken in other locations that I've worked at, and that approach is an all hands on deck approach. And myself and Veronica ourselves, we couldn't do it alone. So I know I only have a few minutes to speak tonight, so I'll give you the Reader's Digest version of what I've been doing for the last 8 months, specifically for All-Star Liquor. I started gathering all the issues and address what was really needed and going on at that liquor store. I had several meetings. I took it upon myself, along with my sergeant. We surveilled the area and the liquor store and got a good hands-on approach to what we needed to do. I went ahead and met with the licensees there, Mr. and Mrs. Yu. Those meetings were at my office and at their location as well. I wanted to be sure that I was going to get collaboration from them as well, because the all hands on deck approach means that we needed their buy-in too, to be, not only good ABC liquor store owners, but also to be good in the community as well. And we needed that buy-in from them. Again, I spoke to them, spoke to their son, who primarily runs that liquor store as well. And they were on board with all the suggestions that I was going to be bringing on to them and to make it a success. So they were on board, but nevertheless, I still did my due diligence, and so did my agents and my sergeant. We went ahead and conducted an inspection there a few weeks later, just to let them know that, we are following up. And then over the past 8 months since February, I had my agents go there over 20 times in an undercover capacity. Our department, I say about 80% of the agents work undercover. About another 10% of the time they work in plain clothes, give or take a few percentage points. And then we do have full uniforms, and then about the other 10%, we act in the capacity of full-fledged law enforcement officers with our uniform. So nevertheless, again, 20 times they visited the location over the over the past 8 months. Again, in an undercover capacity, jotting down everything, keeping a good log of the activity there. The main issue that we were seeing early on was loiterers. And as you know, loitering in and around a liquor establishment, specifically a liquor store, has issues upon itself alone. So we wanted to make sure that we had the buy-in from them to the liquor store owners to make sure that they address the issue of loitering, and make sure that we observe what we needed to observe through the undercover work that my agents did. So to bring it fast forward to now, again, giving you just a Reader's Digest version, there's a lot of other things that we did as well, my agents did as well, but just up to date, very happy to inform that Veronica and I believe that All-Star Liquor has been a success. And we really curtailed again, their main issue was loitering and all the activities that loitering brings. Now, as equally important though, and my message to you is, just because they are good now doesn't mean that I'm not going to take my focus off them as well, and they know that as well. the liquor store owner. So I truly believe that it's important to continue to monitor and to follow up as much as possible. I have buy-in from my chiefs who are aware of All-Star Liquor. So this is going to be a continuous work in progress that I've set my sights on to make sure that it continues to be a success as it has been up to now. And All-Star Liquor is somewhat of a unique story in so much as how much attention we gave it and the work that we did over the past 8 months. It's, again, as mentioned, I have a very large jurisdiction and 2 agents, but at the same time, I can guarantee that, I'll always do the best to assist your community. And if issues arise in your community with premises like this, or liquor stores or restaurants or bars, that you have me as your ally to help you out as well. With that said, our department is somewhat small. It does cover, obviously, the whole state of California. And in order to assist us, we also require the help of local police departments and sheriff's departments. So the other presentation I have for tonight, besides the work that we did at All-Star Liquor, is we have a program in our department called the Alcohol Policy Partnership. And that is basically grants that we give to sheriff departments and to local police departments to help our agents out, basically, again, because we're so short-staffed, but it's also a communication and organization that we use and a tool that we use to work together to help communities. And I'm proud to announce that our department, I was hoping for it, and I did get it, but as the Altadena Station commander or captain knows, that our department did give Altadena Station a grant to assist with, again, the Alcohol Policy Partnership Grant. It's called APP. And that grant typically is designed to help police departments, run minor decoy programs that our department runs, shoulder tap programs to curtail alcohol in the hands of underage people. It also is a tool that we go out as an app agent, would train the local police department in assisting and understanding ABC laws so that they could use that in their community. But the main reason for the app program and the grants that our department gives to police departments, your sheriff's departments, is to eliminate crime and any public nuisance problems that happen in that area that they are covering. So again, it's a very good tool to use. I'm very proud to announce that Altadena did get that grant from our department. I was working for that ever since I got to Monrovia in February, and with Captain Williams, I'm sure that we can work together and use this grant effectively. But other than that, thank you for your time. Again, it's an absolute pleasure to serve your community. I look forward to it. I've only been in the Monrovia District Office since February. I got a good 3 years before I retire, so I look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any questions?
Thank you for, walking hand in hand with me with that. Thank you. I know I was kind of rough sometimes, but I was frustrated, but thank you.
Absolutely, no problem. It's my job to do it, and it was a pleasure to do it. And again, I said in the beginning, I didn't have it right now as part of my talking points, but your town council is amazing. Just everything that I've seen from the outside, it is truly amazing. It's a model for other town councils or city councils to use. So my hats off goes to you guys. Thank you.
I believe it too. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's also a huge big thank you to Councilmember Jones, who all the efforts that was made, that she put in and the time she put in to make a difference. You truly made a difference in your census tract and within the community, and which is a quality of life issue for all of us. So I personally want to say thank you to Councilmember Jones for this effort and working with ABC.
You're welcome. I live here, so I get the rewards of feeling safe. So,
and it's a great example for all of us to know what we can achieve. So, thank you. If there's no questions, one question from Councilmember Arnson. You're muted.
Could you leave your information in our chat, please? Your contact info?
Yes, absolutely. I sure will.
Just be aware of anything you leave in the chat. It will be general public, not just council members. So be aware of that. If there's anything you'd like to share that's not for general public purposes, you feel free to reach out to any one of us. And the information you can reach through Councilmember Jones or the website.
I have,
Sure.
yeah, I have all his information. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, she has all my information. So yes, absolutely. Feel free to share it. Again, I'm here to help you guys as well, as much as I can. So reach out to me as much and as often as you need to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item 5. Item 5.1, Altadena Community Reports with the Altadena Library with Nikki Winslow.
All right, good evening. All right, let's see, play from start. Can you guys see this okay? Yeah, okay, perfect. Good evening, happy autumn, everyone. So nice to see all of you. So we'll just dive right in. We are recruiting right now for a new assistant library director. Pointed out that I am presenting tonight, not Victor. Victor accepted another position with a different district, and his last day is going to be October 25th. We're also recruiting for a new IT and technical services manager. Christopher Kellermeyer also put in a resignation. He's going to stay with us for 3 months, though, so I'm really grateful that he's going to stick around and help me onboard his replacement. So if there's anyone you know with managerial or IT and technical skills, please refer them to our website at altadenalibrary.org/employment for more information with the job descriptions and the application process. We're going to keep them open until filled, and first review of applications will happen on or around November 1st. So I know it was brought up, but I also thought I would highlight the fact that the Altadena Town Council election is coming, and both of our libraries are going to be a polling place. Thanks to Chris O'Malley for reaching out. Anyone in town can vote at either of our library branches, and the hours are Tuesday, November the 2nd from 12 to 6, as well as Saturday, November the 6th from 10 to 5 at both locations. All right. I'm also really excited to announce some new online resources. We actually got 7 new databases thanks to funding from both the Southern California Library Consortium as well as the California State Library. So we're not even paying for them. Free is awesome. They aren't officially up yet. We're working on incorporating them into the website, but I won't talk to you for another month. So I wanted to highlight them tonight. We're hoping they're going to be available by the end of the week, if not early next week. A few of note are Press Reader, which is access to thousands of leading newspapers and magazines. It's honestly like the best database for getting current news and information in lots of different languages as well. So when that comes live, I highly encourage all of you to take a look. It's honestly like one of the best databases around. We're also getting LinkedIn Learning, which is an online learning database focused on skills for in-demand jobs. So if you know people that are job searching or want to build their skills as they are seeking out jobs, it's a great site to watch webinars and get other kinds of training. Get Set Up is our peer taught classes for those 50 plus. So digital learning to mental health, all kinds of different topics. And then North Star Digital Literacy for those that are looking to grow their technology skills. And those are only 4. We're going to have 3 others. And again, we're going to be pushing them on social media and promoting them, but thanks to grant funding. So check them out. And I would say wait a couple days. We continue to update our service hours at both libraries based on demand and requests, as well as like patron count each day. Most recently, we have expanded on Fridays and Saturdays at the main library, largely due to people wanting to see more programming in the mornings on Fridays and Saturdays. So starting last Thursday, the 15th, we're now open from 10 to 5 at the main library Friday and Saturday. We continue to be open at Bob Lucas Monday through Friday, 12 to 5. And then again, I think I mentioned last month that we expanded hours on Tuesdays. So we're now open till 8 o'clock. So the library just closed a few minutes ago. And again, both libraries will be closed November 11th for Veterans Day. And we do also offer passport appointments Monday through Saturday. All right, so if you missed the Bob Lucas 30th anniversary, shame on you, because it was an amazing event. We had approximately 400 community members join us from 10 to 3 last Saturday. This included members of Bob Lucas's family that attended and spoke at the event as well, and presented the Bob Lucas branch a check for $2,000, which I believe is really going to go towards supporting the literacy program that's going on there. It was wonderful to get to meet so many of his family members. And we also, if you look at the picture on the right, the Christmas Tree Lane Association also donated a bench made from a fallen deodara tree as well to commemorate this milestone event. Thank you to Chris O'Malley and Nick Arnzen for attending, and to Nick for manning our table by our amazing van. So props to you for that, because it was a really busy event. It was so much fun. And to Captain Williams for being there too. I met him on Thursday at the Rotary meeting, and boom, 2 days later, he was at our event. So it was nice to see everybody there, and such a successful event. And yay, 30 years since we opened the Bob Lucas branch as the Bob Lucas branch. All right, so have you seen the Community Connection out in the community? If not, you have a great opportunity to do so this coming Saturday at the Altadena Arts Festival that's taking place at Charles White Park from 10 to 5. We're going to be there, supporting this arts festival, the first one since the organization was started. And we're also going to have a really fun activity of basket weaving with artisan Lee Adams from 2 to 4. We encourage people to register on the website, so we had a good sense of how many people want to participate in the basket weaving, but lots of fun, and come out and spend time with many of your neighbors in Altadena. And you can sign up and register for all of our events at altadenalibrary.org/programs. It was amazing to bring back the second Saturday concert series last month. We're holding these outdoors for now, so we can be socially distanced and not have to worry. And I would love to see you at our next one, which is going to take place on Saturday, November the 13th from 7 to 9 in the main library parking lot. The Harbor Groove Band will be there to share hits from the 70s, 80s, 90s, Latin music, top 10 and more. So hopefully you can all make it. And based on some rules with LA County, we encourage you to register for the event. If not, you can register at the door. But again, visit altadenalibrary.org/programs. So before that, we're actually hosting a performance of the Ash Tree by M.R. James, which is going to be read by Simon Vance, who's an award-winning, critically acclaimed narrator of over 1,000 audiobooks, which is exciting for someone like me. That's how I read, is by listening to books. That's going to take place again outdoors at the main library on Saturday, October 30th from 4 to 5. So encourage you to attend that event as well. Just to really quickly highlight, as usual, we still have our book clubs on the 2nd and 4th Saturdays of the month, as well as a crafting program. We have the Adult Craft Time, which takes place at Loma Alta Park. That's one Friday a month. So next month, it's going to take place on the 19th at 11 a.m., as well as our Crochet Club taking place Saturday, November 20th at 10 at the main library. And if you're into gardening, we continue to transition. Like right now, they're looking at planting seeds for winter vegetables and plants. So the next program at the Bob Lucas branch will take place this Saturday, as well as November 20th. I highly encourage you to go onto the website and sign up, because they are very popular programs. And for children, we have so many fun programs going on. I did point out last month that we're offering American Sign Language story time, as well as bilingual story times in both Cantonese and Spanish. Check out the website, the calendar, to see when those dates are. Coming up shortly, we have this coming Saturday, the Spooky Shadow Play, which should be really fun for the kids at 2 p.m. Oh, wait a minute. 3 p.m., excuse me, this Saturday at 3 p.m. and lots of other programs. So check out the website. And last month, you got to meet our fabulous teen librarian who presented about her Shared Landscapes Mapping Teen Altadena program. Please refer teens to us so they can participate in this grant-funded project to highlight landmarks across Altadena as well as the region. Teens also have an opportunity to help develop programs, volunteer, and connect with other teens on the Teen Leadership Council. They'll be meeting in November on the 13th at 2, which is a Saturday, and Tuesday, November 16th at 4. All right, so that's enough for tonight, I would say. Thank you for the opportunity to speak as usual. And I just wanted to say go Dodgers. I did want to point out that since I moved to California, they have made it to the World Series every year. I don't know if that's a coincidence, but I just thought I'd point that out. So I am still living here, so fingers crossed. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
It's okay. You can take the credit for the Dodgers getting into the World Series. We thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions for Nikki before we move on? No? And thank you for offering the library as a polling location, Nikki. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, happy to do it.
Sorry, Billy, real quick. I was going to say that in my presentation, but I do want to thank Nikki for the Bob Lucas event. It was amazing. It was awesome. It's in my census tract. I loved it. Thank you.
Yeah, and it was nice to see you, Chris, in person.
Right. Well, thank you. I'm going to move on then. Thank you, Nikki, to item 5.2, the Altadena Chamber of Commerce.
Thanks, Billy. Thank you, Billy. Good evening, everybody. A few announcements. First off, it is fall, and that is the time that we accept nominations for our annual Citizen of the Year and Business of the Year for Altadena. The nomination forms and criteria are up on our website. Nominations are due on 2 weeks from Friday, 5 p.m. in the office. Please give it some thought. I'm sure we all know somebody that would be worthy of that recognition, and it's a great honor and a great event for the community. So please consider nominating somebody deserving. Secondly, we have a terrific power breakfast on Thursday morning at the Altadena Town and Country Club. It'll be from 8 till about 9:30. We do networking from 8 to 8:30, and then we have two great speakers. One is Donald Lowell, who is the director of Pasadena Business Development Center. And then secondly, Ernest Bobadilla, who is the acting chief of small business for the County of Los Angeles. We do ask that you make a reservation. You can do so tomorrow by emailing the office, would be the best thing to do. And if you do attend, you need to have a vaccination certificate for COVID and or a clear test within the last 72 hours. Thirdly, we have a mixer scheduled at Deb Squared Photos at their home studio on Marathon Road on November 11th, 5 to 7 p.m. And then on December 3rd, we are going to do a ribbon cutting to honor the new owners of Grocery Outlet, Jose and Sandra Valenzuela. And on December 4th, we have a holiday sip and shop from 4 to 8 p.m. I don't even have the exact location for that yet, but details forthcoming, and it's shaping up to be a nice event. So that's a quick rundown of what's around the corner for the chamber. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'm done, Billy.
All right, any questions? All right, thanks, Doug. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you.
And the Power Breakfasts are a great event. I recommend anyone, if you have the chance, go.
Yeah, these are both very, very good speakers and relevant topics for especially those in business and the community. So,
and they always have a good breakfast spread. So, all right, moving on. LA County Parks, item 5.3 with Sam Estrada.
Hey, good evening, everybody. We have a lot of things that are upcoming for Parks and Recreation in the Altadena area. So we've been having our ongoing Recreation for All program held at Loma Alta Park, and it's a free after-school program, and it's Tuesday through Thursday from 5:30 to 7. And then on Fridays from 5:30 to 6:30. We are also doing a program on Saturday from 2 to 4. And that's also being held at Loma Alta and Farnsworth Park. And that program is ongoing and it's year round until May 27th, and it's for ages 7 to 17. We also have as I mentioned, we have our Everybody Plays after school program, and that's 2:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday, and it's ages 7 to 17. We're also offering our free snack program at Loma Alta and at Farnsworth Park, and it's at 3 p.m. and it goes until 4 p.m. and it's Monday through Friday. And that's for ages everybody 18 and under. We are also offering it to those that are 18 and over. However, they can be part of a group home, or they also have to be part of a mental a youth ADA program as well. Recently, we held our Girls Empowerment Conference on Saturday, October 9th at Loma Alta Park. It was for girls ages 12 to 18 years of age. We had approximately 90 plus girls that were registered for the conference. It was a great conference. I was able to be part of it. They had some great speakers and the interactive sessions and live music. The girls got to have college experience speakers, as well as job and career focused sessions that they were able to engage in. So it was a great program overall. We had held it at two other sites in addition to Loma Alta in LA County. So it was a great time to host it, and we were glad to have it back in person since last year we were virtual. So it's great that now the girls were able to be in person and interact with everybody, and they got free shirts and grab bags. So it was a great time that they were able to have during this conference. Upcoming this month, we'll be having two Halloween events at Loma Alta. They will be having a trick or treat village on Saturday, October 30th, and that's going to be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and they'll be having candy, games, costume contests, prizes, and music. So look forward to hosting that at Loma Alta, and it's a free event, so you do not need to register like we did last year. So you can just show up and kids can come in their costumes, adults as well can come in their costumes, and we'll be having contests and prizes for those that attend. We'll also be having a trick or treat village at Farnsworth Park, and that'll be on Friday, October 29th starting at 3 p.m. And they'll be having free candy and music, so kids can come up and get some free candy in the new Davies building right there on the corner of Mount Curve and Lake. So come check it out on Friday, October 29th at 3 p.m. We also are having our contract class program. If those that are familiar with it, we have our in-person and virtual classes that the county does offer. So we've been offering these classes going on over a year now. So our session is coming to a close next month, and we'll be having new classes that will be offered starting next month. And you can check out parks.lacounty.gov/reserve, and classes will be open for registration for the winter sessions, which starts on December 6th. So again, look forward to offering those new programs that we have. And we'll be also offering a lot of in-person classes at Loma Alta as well as Farnsworth Park. And as mentioned earlier by the library, we have the Charles White Arts Festival that we will be hosting. So we are looking forward to hosting that this Saturday. And we've been planning with the host Eugene Hutchinson. So we're looking forward to hosting his event. He's been planning this for several months now, and it's going to be really fun for the community. Parks and Rec is really proud to host this event for everybody in the Altadena and LA County. So we're glad to host another large scale event at Charles White Park and bring more attention to that much needed park in Altadena. As I mentioned with our Recreation for All program, Farnsworth Park is holding a dance class, and it's on Tuesdays from 5:30 to 7, and it's free. And they are also hosting a Sports for All program and that's a baseball program that is on Saturdays, and it's from 9:30 to 10, and then from 10:30 to 11:30, and it's for ages 6 to 8 and 9 to 12-year-olds. And it's a free program that's taught by Alejandro Miranda, the coach. He coaches them, and he's also the park supervisor. So again, it's every Saturday from 9:30 till 11:30. And then finally at Loma Alta Park, we have the Everybody Plays program, and it's Monday through Friday, 2:30 to 5:30. And then it's a basketball program that they're offering, and it's from Tuesday through Thursday from 5:30 to 7, Fridays from 5:30 to 6:30, Saturday from 2 to 4, and that's from ages 7 to 17 years of age. And then they're doing a little more basketball in addition to what they're offering, and it's every Saturday from 2 to 4, and from 10 to 1, and it's from ages 6 to 12 years old, and that's every Saturday in addition to the program from 2 to 4. So it's a lot of basketball going on at Loma Alta, but we've been having a great turnout. Every day, these kids have been coming out, and the parents have been signing them up. So space is limited, so be sure to sign up your kid on our park reservation website. So we look forward to seeing you guys out there and getting our programs back to how they used to be. So that's it for me. I appreciate everybody that's been marketing our programs and being a part of it. And I thank Dorothy as well for being part of our programs and offering new and exciting programs. And thank you also for mentioning the farmers market earlier, Dorothy. We have that tomorrow afternoon. So thank you.
Any questions from the council? Okay. Well, thank you very much, Sam. I appreciate it. We'll see you again next month. Appreciate your time and all the updated information. And happy Halloween with all the events you will be having at the parks for this Halloween. And thanks for keeping our kids safe.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Moving on. Item 6, committee reports. Now to the big one of the evening. I'm going to pass it over to item 6.1 to Council Member O'Malley and Council Member Petrie for the with the election committee. Item 6.1.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Hello, Altadena Town Council. Hello, Altadena, if you're watching. My name is Chris O'Malley. I'm the election chair. First off, I'd like to thank everybody on the election committee. That's Hannah Petrie, my co-chair, Nick Arnzen, Barry Strick, and Eric Pierce. They've all put a lot of work into getting this set up, and they deserve some recognition for that. We have 12 candidates this year. From 4601, William Stewart and Victoria Knapp. There is no candidate from 4602. From 4603.01, Dorothy Wong is running. In 4603.02, Dr. Sandra Thomas is running. In 4610, Veronica Jones is on the ballot. In 4611, Madeline Barber and Pat Sutherland are running for the seat. In 4612, Michael Davidson and Richie Wilkins are running. In 4613, Elizabeth O'Connor, Michelle Stitz-Gokin, I hope I pronounced that correctly, and Sylvia Vega are running. Did I? Was it all right? Yeah, no, okay. We have 3 polling places that will be open on November 2nd and November 6th. November 2nd for early voting from 12 to 5, and November 6th for extended voting, I guess, from 10 to 5. I know Nikki said 6 on her presentation. The miscommunication was entirely my fault. I'm sorry, Nikki. It's 10 to 5, not 10 to 6. Those locations will be at the main branch of the library at 600 East Mariposa Street, the Bob Lucas Memorial Branch at 2659 Lincoln Avenue, and Pata Cakes at 1900 Allen Avenue. I'd like to thank Nikki and the library and Pata Cakes for making those venues available to us. All of the info for the candidates is linked at altadenatowncouncil.org at the Election 2021 tab. And last but not least, we will probably be calling for some volunteers. We need about 12 to 16 per station. And we will be putting a sign-up link on the Altadena Town Council website shortly, very soon. And now I would like to leave the floor to the candidates, I think. Yes, Billy? Okay, for their statements. Do you want me to call the order, or do you want to do it? You're muted. You're muted. He's muted.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muting. I was just writing the names down in order as you read them out. But feel free as the chair of the election committee to introduce them and bring them up one at a time and maybe take it in the order that you read it.
Sounds good to me. All right, from 4601, William Stewart, the floor is yours. You have 3 minutes or less, please. Bill, are you here? All right. He might not be here. He was out of town. You see William Stewart?
Okay, is he, or maybe check if he's muted. All right, if we make a mistake and we jump over somebody, we can come back to them if it's our mistake.
Very well then. Victoria Knapp, the floor is yours.
Never click away from the primary screen when you're about to speak. Thanks so much, Councilmember O'Malley. I'm Victoria Knapp. I am one of the incumbent council members in Census Tract 4601. We moved to Altadena from Pasadena, my family and I, 10 years ago, and I am completing my 4th year on town council, which will complete my 2nd full term. I am running for re-election because I love this town, and I have had great success in my last 4 years in the census tract, not only as we've looked at projects that have gone on here in the census tract around traffic, safety, trees, and median upgrades, but also throughout the town as I've established really good working relationships with some of my fellow council members. One of my primary goals in taking the seat originally was to better bridge the relationship between this census tract in the eastern part of Altadena and those in the western part. And I'm very proud of the relationship that Councilmember Jones and I have forged during the time that we've both been on council together. She has been a true leader and a partner, and I look forward to continuing that as we both continue our roles on council should I be reelected. My strengths on town council really have been one of communication. So I am a connector by nature. My entire career was in sales. And so whether it is putting forth new businesses to the community, whether it's keeping the community up to date with things that are going on of immediate concern, like with the Bobcat fire, or of local concern as it relates to the turnover of business owners, how the businesses can support our public schools, which both of my children are in public schools, one of which is in Altadena. I really have worked hard to connect folks, not only in my census tract, but with each other, because I think that so much of the success of Altadena is the connection of Altadenans with each other. So I look forward to continuing to serve, and I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Victoria. Next up, 4603.01, Dorothy Wong.
Hi, thank you, Chris. I'm going to just read what I wrote because there's a lot. So I would be honored to represent Altadena Census Tract 4603.01 as your council member for the following term, 22-23. I'm ready, willing, able, and motivated to support all of those who love and live in this diverse and dynamic census tract surrounded by the National Forest, the Arroyo Seco, Pasadena, and our neighbors in Census Tract 460302 and 4602. Since being elected in 2017, I have served 2 terms. The issues that I've seen coming towards our community relate to safety, climate change and wildfire resilience, and mobility in our community and in our census tract. There's a lot of work to be done. and I will continue to strive to be a better community representative by getting to know my neighbors, listening and learning from the community, including the generations of families born and raised over the decades, as well as addressing concerns of our newer residents. Our diversity is our strength. We have the potential and dynamics to improve the quality of life in our community by prioritizing our most vulnerable. Communication and information sharing is vital. For example, learning how to coexist in the wildland-urban interface, learning about how to get bear-proof trash cans, keep me wild, ready, set, go, map your neighborhood are definitely issues in Census Tract 460301. Staying up to date is key on recent updates of the Altadena CSD, as well as the Community General Plan, elements of safety, climate action, housing, mobility, sustainability, transportation, such as Metro Los Angeles, and a variety of countywide actions and measures that can address and support community issues. That I have learned over these 4 years. There's a lot to learn living here in Altadena. Over these terms, I've learned a lot to be an effective leader and would love to continue to grow as your town council representative by working with you to improve the quality of life for this special place we know and love, Altadena. Together, we are stronger, centered by love, compassion, collaboration, and communication. My passion for people and working together toward a common goal is what I love the most. I thank you for your consideration to represent this very special census tract. With gratitude.
Thank you, Ms. Wong. Next up is Dr. Sandra Thomas from my very own 46.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Sandra Thomas, and I represent 460302. I don't know how many years I have served. I think I'm just an old veteran, and so I've been on this council a lot of years. I've been in Altadena for 45 years, and I have served my community all of those years. Needless to say, I've had the pleasure and honor of working with some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people over the years. We've worked hard. We've accomplished many things. When I look back at how far Altadena has come, I look back with joy on the things that I see. Now, I've served with many of the groups in Altadena, but I've served with groups in Pasadena. And I found out, it's already been said, I'm not going to call their names, but I found out that if we all work together, that we get much accomplished. And finally, I'd like to say that I've had the pleasure of working with the youth. Youth are our future. They're really our today. But I've had the pleasure of teaching leadership development to our youth. And so far, we've had about 8,000 to go through the program in Altadena, and I'm very proud of that. And also, the only thing that I will say personally is that I'm honored to have had the opportunity to design the official Altadena flag. So I would love to continue to work in Altadena. There's a lot of work to be done. Let's all get to work and do it together. And I thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. Ms. Veronica Jones from 4610.
Good evening. I've served 2 terms on the Altadena Town Council. I've worked with some wonderful council members, and we've had our ups and downs. It's been an exciting journey. With the help of the residents, local organizations, the Board of Supervisors, and my colleagues on the Town Council, I have been able to make some improvements and exciting things, bringing exciting projects to my census tract. I find it an honor and a privilege to be a representative for Census Tract 4610. If elected again, I will continue hard to continue to make Census Tract 4610 safer, greener, and cleaner. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
That's it.
Jones. Thank you. From 4611, Madeline Barber.
Hello, everyone. Good evening to the Altadena Town Council, Executive Committee, and fellow candidates. My name is Madeline Barber. I'm the incumbent candidate for running for the Altadena Town Council Census Tract 4611. Just a little bit about myself. I'm a 26-year-long resident of Altadena and Northwest Pasadena native. I attended Don Benito, Washington Elementary, Elliott Junior High School, and Blair High School, class of '84. Go Vikings. I'm asking for your vote to continue working with the co-counsel Alan Peck for Census Tract 4611. I will continue to accept the responsibility to listen and possess the compassion to be responsive to your needs and requests. My commitment to the community is not only obvious in the amount of time I've lived here, but pride for being a part of this town. I'm also grateful that my husband and I have been able to raise our own family in Altadena. If we've learned anything in the past 19, 20 months, we have relearned the importance of family, our safety, mental health, and definitely our town and neighborhoods. I believe I have the interpersonal skills, integrity, and implied professional skills to be an asset to the team that makes up Altadena Town Council. I previously worked for a large food and beverage company for 17 years, and during that time, I held a volunteer community liaison role for the Adopt a School program. We implemented various outreach programs benefiting local Los Angeles County schools, such as writing contests, pen pal programs, after-school tutoring, career-oriented events, just to name a few. In the 2007-8 school year, I was a member of the PUSD BTSA board, beautification chair, and grant writer. In my tenure of writing and applying for grants, we won a few and lost a few, but certainly it's my hope to apply this knowledge and skill on the Altadena Town Council to win funding for important enhancements such as traffic and pedestrian safety projects. Currently, I work as an operations specialist with a team of housing advocates. The job's mission is to house the unhoused, which certainly has affected all towns and cities across this country. In this role, I work directly with communities hosting town halls and other land use and planning initiatives. I have much to learn, but I believe Councilman Peck and I make a great team, and I'd be honored to continue in that capacity. I am confident in my grassroots experience thus far, and also in my enthusiasm to learn to successfully apply these attributes to stakeholders and constituents. I humbly request your vote to allow me to continue working for Census Tract 4611 as your representative. Lastly, I'd just like to say,
I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Pat Sutherland from 4611. The floor is yours.
Okay. I think I'm hooked up on everything now. Good evening. When I first joined the council 7 years ago, I said then that my primary concern was communication. And 7 years later, nothing has changed. That is still my primary concern. My qualification statement is posted on the Altadena Town Council website, the election tab for 2021. Although my last name is misspelled on the list, that's still me. The short version of my background, I graduated from Santa Clara University with a business degree, emphasis in accounting. I've had 2 careers. First was in department store retail as a buyer for as many as 17 branches. That was the old Robinson store. And as store manager for several organizations. My second career was with major banks as loan officer, private banker, managers of both branches and loan centers. In all these positions, I developed skills in problem solving, planning, organization, training, management, all while dealing with various sections of a large organization. These skills have been very valuable when functioning as a council member. The other day, one of my neighbors asked me if I missed being on the council during the last year. I said, yes, I do, because I miss knowing what was going on in Altadena, which takes us right back to my the first thing I said is communication being something that I'm very concerned with. And I do know that there's a item on the agenda from the communication committee, so I'm going to enjoy hearing what Nick has to say about what you're doing, Nick. In my time with the council, I've used Nextdoor mostly for, it's not ideal, but it is very helpful using Nextdoor and emails for people that actually are not on Nextdoor. I made it a point for several years to send monthly information out to our census tract. And if elected, I would restore the monthly messages that kind of went away during especially the last couple of years when life was a little different with all of us here. Duties of council members. Sometimes our duties are as simple as giving out to people a phone number, someone to call for help. Sometimes what the issue may be becomes a project. One of the ones that we had a couple years ago, it actually took 2 years to complete. It was a street sweeping request on a block that did not have curbs on the entire block. And so the county was not going to do any street sweeping because you need curbs, I guess, for the machinery.
I'm sorry, Ms. Sutherland, that's time.
My gosh.
I know,
Okay.
I go so quick.
Okay, real quick.
Wrap it up really quick, please.
Okay. No, I wasn't talking fast enough. I'm awfully sorry. But to the residents of Census Tract 4611, I do thank you for your support in the past, and I would much appreciate your support in the future. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Sutherland. From 4612, we have Michael Davidson.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Chris, I want to thank you for organizing the selection process. I thought maybe you had 150 people working for you. It's gone very smoothly. So my name is Michael Davidson. I'm a 30-year resident of Altadena. My wife and I raised 3 kids here. 2 of my 3 grandchildren are right down the street. I'm lying about that. They're actually in the room next door. I'm a PhD in public policy. I have masters in international relations and in public administration. Currently, I'm a global consultant. I work for the World Bank and other agencies, primarily operating at the nexus of climate change, food security, and water security, primarily working in East Africa, West Africa, and Sub-Asia, the Middle East, and a little bit in South America. So I have learned an awful lot about how many countries, both in Europe, Asia, and Africa, manage their natural resources, manage climate change, and the areas that we call beyond climate change. Climate change is critical, but there's a lot of what we call planetary processes that we need to address. And fortunately, a lot of them are very manageable at the local level. We are living at the top of the hill here. Everything runs downhill. There's a lot that we can do that they're doing in Europe and in the Middle East in particular that I would like to share. And what I see as my contribution is as a link to what other countries are doing. The United States is a great place. It's an island. And one of the things we don't do too well in the United States is learn from other countries and what they're doing. And a lot of other countries are, frankly speaking, way ahead. And that's something I want to contribute. And where this leads me to is in community management. Coordinating and collaborating with stakeholders, learning how other countries manage their communities is something that I know, that's my experience, that's my job, and I would love to be able to be that bridge. So there's a lot more I could say. I've never done a 3-minute speech in my life, so this was a challenge for me. So I'm representing Census Tract 4612. My name is Michael Davidson, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Davidson. Up next, we've got Richie Wilkins, same census tract.
Hi, Council and YouTube viewers. My name is Richie Wilkins. I'm the incumbent for 4612. I've been in Altadena since our first house since September of 2000. Raised a couple boys along the way that are in public schools. And you know, the first time I ran way back in 2012, I was basically recruited from neighbors. And I was on the fence, like I always am, about whether to do public service because I'm so busy with other things. But I remembered a lecture that James Baldwin gave back at UCSB when he said, America really was a hope for the world because we are diverse. And if we can make it work here in America, we could show the world something. And I see Altadena as sort of representing America. And so, you know, it doesn't take a PhD to realize that if we can make it work in Altadena, maybe we can show America and the world the way. But that doesn't really say whether or not I should be reelected, you know, that's for the voters to decide. But, you know, there's 3 things I guess you could look at. Do I represent census tract? You know, do I represent Altadena? And like I said earlier, do I sort of represent the best of America? So I don't know, how do you represent a census tract? It's as varied as Altadena is. I mean, I have a neighbor with a Trump revenge tour on one side of the street and Black Lives Matter right on the other side of the street. I actually wrote a poem about that. That was a pretty good poem. But, you know, I speak to both of them, you know, and I invite them both to the street corner in Brendo to look at the Saturn through my telescope. I think if we can get people looking at what's in common, we could get over some of the things that separate us. And so we tend to forget the differences. So I try to see both sides of the people I care about. And so, you know, how do you represent larger Altadena? I tell everybody how great Altadena hardware is and send our kids to public schools here. And, you know, Altadena blogs, I share my art and people seem to like that. So I just try to make Altadena great for me and other people. And while we are not a partisan, I have very strong preferences for one party, and people probably know who that is. But I just want us all to remember what we have in common and do what's best for Altadena and best for the country. So whether you wish to make me your representative is your choice. I like the other candidate. I wouldn't mind if you were voted because I want us to have the best representation. So make a choice. And I think we have 2 good candidates for this position. And if you want me to be back in there, I'll do it. If you want Dr. Davidson, I think he'd be great as well, if I got his name right. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wilkins. I'd like to hear that poem at some point.
Sure.
Next up, we're moving into 4613. We're going to start off with Elizabeth O'Connor.
Thank you. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak this evening. My name is Liz O'Connor. I live on New York Drive on the very north edge of Census Tract 4613. I moved to Altadena almost 20 years ago in 2003. I'm originally from a small town in Massachusetts, so while Los Angeles can be a bit overwhelming, I was drawn to the neighborhood feel of Altadena. I have a graduate degree in public health from UCLA. For the last 22 years, I worked for a federal grants funded National Childhood Cancer Clinical Trials Group, the last 10 years of which I was the chief operating officer. I have a great deal of experience establishing and working within government infrastructure, including grant applications and management, budget administration, staff management, and and simply getting important work done with limited resources, always limited resources. I've been spending the last few months transitioning my work responsibilities before taking on a new position. And I've really been looking for ways to get involved and be of service locally, and want to make those commitments my priority in the coming years. I'm always interested in gaining a better understanding of how things operate and pride myself on being an effective problem solver. And I love being part of a dedicated team. I hope to bring that curiosity and commitment to the Altadena Town Council. I want to understand the challenges our neighborhood faces and learn how I can work with LA County and the community to address them. In addition to my practical skills, my education and personal interests are in community health, and I'll be looking to champion opportunities to improve the overall health of our neighborhood. Whether I'm elected or not, I see this as a chance to get to know my neighbors better and hope to discover ways that I can be a more active and effective advocate for my community. So thank you for the opportunity and for your time. And if elected, I'll be honored to serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. O'Connor. Next up, Michelle Stilts-Skokin.
Hi, good evening. Hello, council members and neighbors. My name is Michelle Stilts-Skokin, and I'm excited to be a candidate for Census Tract 4613. I'm running because I felt called to serve and give back to my local community. I'm originally from Kentucky, and my husband Matt and I have lived in Altadena on Galbraith Road for the past 15 years. My education and background is in the music business, where I worked for BMI, Paramount, and Universal on behalf of songwriters and publishers, ensuring they were fairly compensated for their intellectual property. My career has revolved around client engagement. I've been a successful relationship builder because of my approachable personality, caring nature, and dependability. I've worked in special events and for nonprofits, including Caltech, the Paley Center for Media, and Chrysalis. As a manager of the Chrysalis Women's Empowerment Program, we helped clients gain life skills to transition from homelessness and unemployment to self-sufficiency. I engaged and encouraged participants to remain in the program, and because of this, we saw the largest completion rate in the program's history. In my role as a CASA volunteer, which is a court-appointed special advocate, I work on behalf of at-risk children in the dependency system, advocating for their education, safety, physical, and mental health well-being. I engage with the education and legal system and various LA County departments and make recommendations to the court on the children's behalf. I've also volunteered locally for the Junior League and Union Station. As a council member, some of my goals to work on would include: 1, safety. One of my highest priorities is to ensure the sheriff's station stays in Altadena and is properly staffed. I'm concerned about safety around schools and parks, and I want to make sure dispensaries are not popping up around them. And I'm concerned about speeding in our neighborhoods. Number 2, preserving neighborhood character and local business. I want to preserve the charm of our old homes and tree-lined streets. I want to update our Altadena CSD to set standards for SB9 developments, and I want to encourage and attract more small businesses and restaurants. Number 3, promoting public health and environmental awareness. I want to promote access to mental health care for everyone and to remove the stigma for seeking help. I want more access to hazardous waste recycling and more education on harmful chemicals in household products, and to limit the use of gas leaf blowers. My diverse experience makes me exceptionally well positioned to be an effective representative for Altadena. I'm the right person because I will be an engaged and diligent council member working tirelessly to be a strong advocate for your interests. I humbly ask for your vote, Michelle Stilts-Skokin, for Census Tract 4613. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stilts-Skokin. Last but certainly not least, from 4613, Ms. Sylvia Vega.
Good evening, and thank you so much for your time, council people, I should say, not councilmen, council people. I'm excited to be running. Again, I am the incumbent Sylvia Vega for Census Tract 4613. I moved to, we're going to call it Bajadena. So it's the unincorporated area of Pasadena. 15 years ago, when I bought my home as a single mom, And it's been a wonderful, wonderful community to be a part of. I've had the privilege of being on the town council and land use for 7 years, and have had the goal of continuing to serve the community, to maintain its beauty and help it fulfill its potential. One of the things I've loved about being on the council is working with the different council people that I built relationships with, specifically the county supervisor's office, and rolling up our sleeves to do what we need to do for our community. 2 years ago, we had a issue with a drug house, and we had several neighbors concerned about it. And I helped facilitate and start a meeting between law enforcement and the neighbors to sit down, share their concerns, what they were seeing, what law enforcement was doing, and bridging that gap and bringing people together. Working with my counterpart, Diane, whether it's walking Washington Boulevard with county representatives to build better relationships with the small businesses, or volunteering to do the homeless count or the walkability study. Being a liaison between our community and constituents in the county really is important, because that's where we make things better, whether it's an issue with crime, whether it's an issue with traffic, whether it's an issue with business. I'm a worker bee. I love to roll up my sleeves and walk the neighborhood to connect with neighbors and find out what we can do to be better in our community and to serve our constituents. So I'm a real estate agent. I've been a real estate agent for 11 years. And so I know Altadena well. I sell Altadena. I believe in our community. I love being on the town council and would really welcome an opportunity to earn another term. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Vega. And that concludes our candidate statements. I want to thank everybody running for your commitment to the community. This is how democracy works, and you guys are doing a service to all of us. Thank you, whether you win or lose. It's a good thing that you're running. Last but not least, I would like to just mention that Neighbors Building a Better Altadena are hosting a candidate forum on October 28th at 6:30. It'll be online. We will link to that on the Altadena Town Council website. If there's no questions or concerns from the council, I'm pretty sure that concludes the item.
If I'm correct, Chris, I believe that forum is also hosted in conjunction with the League of Women Voters.
I think so.
They're doing it as a partnership.
Are they doing it again? All right. I believe it. Those League of Women Voters, they're amazing.
Okay, just want to point that out. So if you're a candidate, go speak, answer questions and answer difficult questions. And I hope to see you all there. I plan on being there. So, all right. Any questions for Chris before we move on? Thank you, Councilmember O'Malley. And thank you for all the hard work, and for the co-chair, Hannah Petrie, for all your hard work, and looking forward to a great election. Okay, moving on. Item 6. Sorry, go ahead.
So are we. That's
Good.
All you go.
Item 6.2, Communication Committee. Councilmember Anzen, welcome. You're muted.
There we go. I had to get to it. I'm a bit frazzled because I'm chomping at the bit at all these candidates because the communication committee is relatively new, and I'm always looking for active residents, and I feel like a bunch just raised their hands. So I'm giving you fair warning. I may be reaching out regardless if you're elected to council or not, because Dorothy probably heard the word safety in there a few times and feels the same way. All right, let's get right through this. So the Communication Committee, we've had a great first month and a half in our quest to expand our reach into the community. We're continuing to explore untapped existing resources and look at some new, more innovative methods. And we'll continue to present them to Executive Council and see what we can dig into. All right, so we've got a plethora of ideas. I've mentioned them before. I have a very healthy list of possible goals, but we remained focused on 3 main goals. We had a couple meetings this past month, and we are still moving forward with planning a gathering for the town council to discuss internal communication improvement And then my external group continues to look at creating a network structure for local organizations and groups to better communicate and collaborate where possible. And then we're also sort of tagging on to that in my desire to kind of increase our profile and our reach. The two groups we really want to reach are new residents and also the youth. And in doing so, I'm still looking at fostering a program or some sort of listing, and we're figuring out how that'll look for a program to put those area teens to work and earn their required volunteer hours. And lastly, the committee is also continuing to help get the word out about next month's upcoming election, and happy to do so after seeing these candidates. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nick. Excited to keep hearing the updates. So thank you for all the hard work. Moving on to item 6.3, which is Safe Streets Committee with Councilmember Wong.
Thank you very much. I'm going to share my screen and give a quick update. As long as it works. Share. All right. View. All right. So the quick update, the Safe Streets Committee and just the energy and enthusiasm in Altadena. We're focusing on Walktober. So on October the 6th was also California Clean Air Day and Walk to School Day. So some enthused parents got together, and including, here's our sort of start group here. And we did an unofficial Safe Routes to School Walk Day, sort of bringing enthusiasm to getting people to walk. And I just want to read the parents' description of this. On the morning of Wednesday, October the 6th, a group of children enrolled at Altadena Arts Magnet and their parents gathered at the corner of Calaveras and Raymond to walk for several blocks to the school situated at Calaveras and El Molino. The event was designed to celebrate Walktober and National Walk to School Day and was organized by parents in cooperation and support of the Altadena Town Council, Representative Madeline Barber from Census Tract 4611, and Safe Streets Committee Chair Dorothy Wong attended and worked through this lovely event, supporting, as well as Principal Shekel of Altadena Arts Magnet and Elliott Arts Magnet. Some students held honorable walk signs. So let me see if I can move to the next one. Oh, Madeline is holding up her sign there. And walking route was marked by signage provided by LA County Public Health through the Southern California Council of Governments Go Human campaign. The parents got there and we handed out information to the parents as they were walking through, marking signs on the pathway to Altadena Elementary. And this is one of the students holding up some of the great informational cards that were given out that day. So it was very successful, grassroots, locally inspired, raising awareness on behalf of walkers and students on Walk to School Day. And then the ultimate goal is for us in Altadena to really be looking at safe routes to schools as an approach that promotes walking and bicycling to school through infrastructure improvements, enforcement tools, equitable and safety education, and incentives to encourage people to walk and bike to school. And the next thing we're going to be having on 11/6 will be our Safe Routes to Park campaign, creating safe and equitable access to parks for all ages and abilities. So on November the 6th, join 1st to 3rd. They're going to be putting on this will be an intergenerational day of mobility movement at Loma Alta Park. So there'll be lots of fun. Check that out, November 6th at 12 o'clock. And the description here, 1st to 3rd in partnership with Side Street Project, Altadena Bicycle Club, Los Angeles County Parks and Recreation, My Tribe Rise invites you to the first ever Smush Ball Tournament, an intergenerational, all ages friendly competition event, which will also provide food, interactive arts, live music, performance, bicycle and skate skills, yoga, jumpers, face painting, chalk art, mobility, demonstration, nature, ecology walk, gifts and prizes, and so much more. So don't miss the chance for us to move around and see what we can do to encourage safety around our parks. That concludes that. And I
Was that conclusion of everything, Councilmember Wong?
10:23, we're going to be hosting a art in public spaces community walk around Charles White Park on 10:23 at the Arts Festival. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Councilmember Wong? Okay, before we move on to the next item, because we're talking about committees right now, I just want to let all the council members know ahead of time to think about this, but it's only 2 months away before we have a council meeting for the holiday community council meeting. It's where we usually have a holidays committee that helps run the event. Maybe we can do something special this year. I know in prior years, council members Knapp has chaired that committee. So if anyone wants to help and support, it's where we actually have dedicate our council meeting to the majority of the meeting to the community. So bear that in mind and what we can do. Maybe we can also work in conjunction with the communication committee. That might be a good option to good route to take. So think about that. So moving on to the next item, 6.4, the last item of the committee reports, Land Use Committee, Councilmember Marcussen.
Yes, in the interest of time, we voted to recommend approval of the project that Chris is going to present 2 weeks ago at our land use meeting. And I'll hand it to you, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairperson Marcussen. Project number PRJ 2021-003335 is a request for recommendation of a CSD modification for yard setbacks at 550 West Terrace Street, sorry. I'm just going to let Yvonne, she's the architect, just give you a brief presentation.
Well, Chris, hi. Do you have the stuff?
I do. What's up?
Okay, cool. So just a quick recap. This is a front yard setback modification as well as a side yard setback modification. The front yard is because this is a super kind of rounded radius corner, and it makes it fairly difficult to add to the existing house. There's a similar corner on the opposite side of the street that has a similar addition, and it also protrudes into the front yard as well. The proposed front yard protrusion does not really extend beyond the neighbor's protrusion, because it stays within about 20 feet of the front yard of West Terrace Street, the length of it. And then most of the properties along West Terrace also has a fairly shallow side yard setback. The current requirement is around 5.5 feet. We're requesting a 5-foot side yard setback, as most of the side yards along the neighborhood are less than the 5.5 feet that are currently required. The existing house is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. The owners are looking to make it a slightly larger 4-bedroom house with additional bathrooms. Their daughter and them are all kind of sharing one bathroom, and they need a little bit more space as she grows. So, and they would love to stay in Altadena. So that's kind of what we're asking for.
Thank you, Yvonne. Anybody have any questions? Well, thank you, Yvonne, for sitting through that entire meeting. It's the third time we've seen you, and we appreciate the patience. Well, if there are no questions or comments, I'll go ahead and move that in the matter of project PRJ 2021-003335, the council recommends approval of the requested CSD modification without condition.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Did we get a second, Billy?
We got some.
Did we have a second? I'm sorry. Nick Hazen is second. Is that a second, Nick? Yeah. So all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay.
Sorry.
Any abstentions? So moved.
Sorry, Billy, I just got to take one more minute because I forgot to do this. I did get one email between now and the last land use, and they really wanted me to read it. It's short. Good evening. Hope you're well. The Looper family of the above address are exceptionally good people. We fully support the request to add more living space. So I just had to get that on the record. Sorry, I forgot.
Okay, if that was a contrasting email, I would ask the council if it would change their vote or status in any way, but as it is not a contrast to the way the vote went, then I don't think we need to go back. So
my bad. It's been a long night.
That was unanimous. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for that.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Billy,
All right, moving.
it's Victoria. Billy, it was not unanimous. I think unanimous. I think we had at least one abstention that I saw. Am I correct in that? Councilmember Vega, did I see you abstain or no?
No, I voted no, actually.
Oh, you voted no.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. Any other votes?
Just wanted to clarify for the record.
Thank you. It's hard to see with so many screens, as you know. It's in public or in person, it's a lot easier to count. So thank you for pointing that out. So the vote did move, but it wasn't unanimous. Okay. All right. Thank you. Moving on to item 7, which is general public comments.
Thank you. So I received one comment through the email today, and it is the report on Altadena Clean Air Day. Dear ATC council members, Chacha would like to share with you our Clean Air Day event. Altadena Clean Air Day is part of the California Coalition Clean Air Day. Over 651 organizations hosted events that supported the idea that shared experiences to unite people to action and to improve our community health. By joining together for a unified day of action, we can create new habits to clear the air for all. Over 1.8 million people participated within 51 counties of California. On Saturday, October 9th, along with the Altadena Library, Altadena Heritage, Altadena Rotary, Chacha hosted the 3rd annual Clean Air Day. The event took place in the main Altadena Library on the lawn, where Dan Mabe from AGSA, American Greens and Alliance, was featured. He and his crew shared the health issues associated with gas-powered lawn equipment, shared the types of alternative equipment, and invited participants to try out the equipment. Suntech, a landscaping company who relies on their truck full of battery-operated equipment, batteries with large solar panels on top of their batteries charged, share their experience using all battery-operated lawn equipment in their work. They also demonstrated and invited people to try it. Altadena Library displayed books available about a better way of landscaping and gardening, focusing on the whole picture. Chacha provided a variety of resources for health issues caused by gas-powered equipment, maintaining one lawn to the South Coast AQMD color code for all ages. A free bag from South Coast AQMD was given to all participants, and crayons on how to cut your carbon footprint activity book was available for children. This year, Altadena Clean Air focused one mission: to educate residents and gardeners to the dangers of gas-powered leaf blowers output and use, to direct people to the next step they can take to improve the air they breathe, such as participating in an equipment exchange program provided by the South Coast AQMD, to introduce participants to a different way of gardening and landscaping using native plants, and to understand sequestering of carbon and reasons for leaving the leaves. Since the passage of AB 1346 Clean Air, we all need to better understand how we can move toward cleaner equipment, better landscape and gardening practices, so we are healthier because our air is cleaner. The Chacha Committee. That's it.
Okay, anything else?
I just have a census tract report.
Okay. Go ahead.
So one, I just wanted census tract, and Hannah was also involved in this, but I wanted to report that this was a monumental moment where we had the U.S. Forest Service, the county, the sheriffs, the community working in collaboration when we had a red flag day combined with extreme drought conditions. and everybody got there. The communication got out there. Even NBC News showed up to talk about it. The county trails. So we established an amazing communication network related to fire safety. So kudos to the residents on Cheney Trail, Alzada, and everybody together. So that was an awesome thing. I just wanted to share. And the last little thing, I just want to read a short little paragraph regarding bear-proof cans from LA County Public Works and Athens to just give everybody a quick update. And this applies to all of Altadena. The county, in the current contract that was renewed or amended, the county will pay for bear-resistant cans in Altadena for everyone. If you have two trash carts, the county will cover both carts. If a resident wants bear carts for their recyclables or green waste, the county will not cover those costs. The reason for that was the lack of available blue-green colors for those carts by the manufacturer and the large expense to replace those. My last sentence. In 2022, the county is required by the state to provide blue colored containers for recyclables and green ones for green waste. So buying all one color now and putting a sticker on top of them as recyclables and green waste is not an option. There will be a new contract with new information coming up in 2022. The goal is March 1st, but it could take a few months more. So everyone just stay up to date. So currently everyone who wants a bear-proof trash can in Altadena can get one. And the contract will be, a new contract will be coming in 2022. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go to the next item, I just wanted to address one of the questions that was in the chat here regarding whether we can move into the community center by December. We don't have an update from the county yet, but also be aware that under current circumstances or standards for gathering, there is a limit per room or per space or per square footage or community center. Currently, that would barely allow, if can even fit the number of the people who are just there to make it work, which would be the 16 council members, the safety report people coming in, presentations, the Pasadena media. I'm not sure that would allow for just those people, let alone the public, under the current regulations. So again, until we hear that update from county, there's not much else I can report on that. Hopefully it'll be nice. It'll be nice to have something there. So maybe we could work with the communication committee and that portion of the community can do something in the outside or something in the parking lot. I know last year the Christmas Tree Lane did a video from the street of Christmas Tree Lane. So maybe there's something like that we could work on. Okay. That's it for now. Item 9, adjournment. Do I have a motion in a second?
I have a motion to adjourn.
and we have a second,
Tongue-tied.
and the fifth, I think. So, all right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
I believe this is unanimous, so we are adjourned.
Yes.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Good to